Welcome everybody and welcome to Ftbsports. This is the prediction show for the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup game, Stoke City versus Tottenham Hotspur. Tomorrow, kick-off at 5:30, I do believe. So, Sam and Mike, we're going to discuss the game, the potential predictions, lineups, etc., and hope that Spurs can progress into the semi-finals. Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Good.
It's getting closer to Christmas, so just trying to sort of be able to finalise the last few bits, as we were just saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much there.
That's good. Yeah, looking forward to Christmas as well. The reason being, there's a lot of football over Christmas, so
Yeah.
I can, to lounge, watch that, and enjoy. Before we get into this, obviously the game and predictions, and talk about that. How's your feelings after the last game, our defeat to Leicester?
Do you know what? I'm kind of that opinion whereby just put it to the side, just move on to the next game, live and learn. As long as Tottenham keep learning from their mistakes, and if they learn from any defeats that we pick up, which I hope isn't going to be too many, but as long as they keep learning and keep improving and try to do the right things, then you just have to take the defeats on the chin and just sort of move on to the next game.
Two losses and one draw in the last 3 games for us in the league, so that's 1 point from 9.
Yeah,
that's not great form, obviously, and that has seen us slip from 1st to 6th, obviously with Chelsea's result yesterday. So, you're getting all the barrage of the Spursy again. You've the first,
yeah,
kind of gone from 1st to 6th in a week. It's all happening. But yeah, there's things I'm hoping I will see tomorrow in the game, obviously with the changes. As I said, just looking at Stoke in general, they've won 3, drawn 2, lost 1 in their last 6 games, conceded only 2 games, and that was in a 2-1 defeat to Cardiff. So they're defensively very tight. They aren't going to be an open and expansive team managed by Michael O'Neill, ex-Northern Ireland boss. So he knows what he's doing. He's organised. He's been there since November 2019.
Yeah.
So this isn't a straightforward game. This is not going to be Spurs just coming in there getting 4 or 5 goals. It's going to be a little bit of a tight affair. Because of that, what changes are you expecting to see from Jose for the Spurs team?
Do you know, it's one of these games where I'm actually not too sure what changes he actually will make. I kind of expect maybe Aurier might be given a rest, and Doherty, we might see Doherty coming at right back. I wouldn't be surprised with that change. I don't think Stoke's wingers should be causing us too much difficulty. I think Winks might start. I think he might be given a start. You might see if Winks starts, then I don't know. Maybe Sissoko might be given a rest because he's played quite a few games. So it might be a game that we might see him given a rest. Yeah, it's a difficult one because obviously Spurs, we need to win this to get things sort of back on track as such. So I don't know if it's a game that Mourinho will want to take too many risks on. I kind of think he'll just want us to get the job done in the 90 minutes and just sort of just make our lives easy. And I really think that's probably that probably will happen. I think Kane will probably start. I can't see Mourinho not starting him. Same with Son. I think Son will probably start. But then I kind of hope they don't get given the full 90 minutes because this shouldn't really be a game that those two need to be playing 90 minutes. If they feature, fine. But yeah, other than that, I'm not really too sure what other changes he's gonna want to make. Just from the risk factor of it's a quarter final. This is a cup we should be winning, or hopefully we should be at least challenging to win. Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's right.
I'm thinking slightly differently here. I'm thinking there's going to be wholesale changes. I think There's no Lo Celso, he's out injured anyway.
Yeah.
We've got the likes of Lamela, Tafik, Tanganga out anyway. I think we're going to see Rodon come in at centre back because I think Jose wants him to get some minutes. He's obviously not in the Europa League squad at the present time. He probably will be in there from going forward in February. But I can see him coming in. I'm not sure if he'll then partner with Sanchez. I don't think Sanchez will come in. I think fullbacks, we'll see Doherty come in. I think we'll see Ben Davies come in as well.
Okay.
If I'm looking at the midfield, Højbjerg I think will start. I think he really relies on him. I think Winks will be alongside him. But then it's going to be the front areas which is going to be interesting for me. I'm thinking there's going to be changes up front. I don't think Kane or Son will start. And I believe that he will bring in, if fit, Bergwijn, Moura. I'm hoping Vinicius gets a game. I'm hoping that Bell gets a game. Now, how they play those lot, I'm not quite sure because you still got Dele Alli. As we talked about previously, I think they've got to play Bale more central. I'm not sure about this wide area for him, just seeing his work ethic. I'm not saying he's not a hard worker, but I just don't think that's in his game anymore to really do that. And I don't, when he played left back, left full back or, wing back, when he was in his pomp for Spurs, he was always wanting to get forward anyway. So I think as he's developed, he looks like he's a more central player. And I just believe that's where we'll get the best out of him. So it'll be interesting to see how that is,
I mean, you mentioned there Vinicius sort of getting a game. This is the ideal sort of game because he hasn't featured in domestic cup competitions or the league.
Not seen him.
And I don't understand it. From what I've seen so far, he looks like he's got something about him, but there's not. I haven't seen him enough in the Europa to be able to sort of make a decision as to whether I think he's any good for us or not. So he's big. He looks big and strong, and he's definitely quick. So why not give him a chance?
Yeah, you're right. You're right in what you say, though. I think this should be a priority for us. I think we should be looking to win this game within the 90 minutes. It does go straight to penalty, so there's no extra time. There's no replays or anything like that. Okay. And just judging by, I said, I haven't watched any Stoke game, so I can't come at it from that perspective. But what I can see from their results, they look like a team that's organised, that's going to be solid, that maybe is going to sit in. It's going to probably play a 4-4-2, going to make it hard for us to break them down. So we should, again, be controlling this game. Are they going to be as good on the counter-attacks as, like, say, a Leicester City or Crystal Palace? No. They're 7th in the Championship, so I don't expect that. But when you've got an organised manager as, Michael O'Neill is, it's going to be a difficult game. They haven't conceded any goals in this competition.
And this is the fear. Like Stoke, I can't imagine Stoke have changed their sort of style of play that we've been accustomed to seeing them play over the years. They will be, like you say, they'll be compact, they'll be hard to break down, they'll be physical, and I imagine they're probably still quite a direct sort of team insofar as when they are attacking, they're very direct, long. I'm assuming the long high balls that we used to see over the years, just because they're just good at what they do, I suppose. But I was just reading on here, Stoke that they've got a goalkeeper crisis. I think they've got 4 or 5 goalkeepers missing, so they're toying up with the idea of playing either I think he's an under 23s, or they've got a loanee who's basically sort of a veteran of the game. But I don't know who either keeper is. So that'd be quite interesting to see if that affects how they line up. Because if they want to protect the keeper a little bit more, then I'm assuming they're probably gonna play a defensive type game like you just mentioned. So. I still expect us to be dealing with Stoke.
We should be dealing with them. But how do you think the approach is going to be from Jose to the game? Is he gonna go for it? Is he going to be cagey? Again, the opposition. I'm wanting to see us on the front foot, and I expect us to be on the front foot.
Yeah.
Jose will do his homework. He will look into them and see what they're like. I'm pretty sure with all the analysis that they do for any games that they'll know exactly how Stoke play. And as I said, even from just looking at results, you can see that they're defensive, they're organised, they're solid. So, you know, a team that has gone from round 1 to round 5, this will be the 5th round, and not conceded so far in the competition. I don't care who you are, you've got to have something about you in terms of that to be able to do that. So the approach is going to be very important. The early goal for us, getting that first goal, is going to make a difference. If they get a first goal, you can imagine what it might be like.
Oh God, yeah. I'm hoping, and I'm expecting Spurs to come out the firing blocks. They have to, especially against the Championship side. If we can't come out the blocks and sort of hit the ground running against the likes of Stoke, then what does that say about our credentials in getting sort of top 4 and any trophies this season? So I would expect us to be on the front foot this game. We have to be on the front foot. We don't want Stoke getting an early goal and then just sitting back, because that's probably what they will do. If they get an early goal, they're just going to sit back, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to try and see the game out because they've got nothing to lose. As the underdogs, they're expecting probably, if any neutrals watching this game, you're expecting Stoke to lose. So, we just don't want to play into their hands because they will be difficult to break down if they do get an early goal.
Definitely. Do you think winning this trophy is now the priority for Jose, given what we've seen over the last week? Now, I know we can't go too over the top. It's very close in the Premiership. Liverpool are looking like they're stretching a little bit. Well, they're 6 points from us, but there's a whole bunch of teams between 1st and 10th in the league where, you know, they could go up 2, 3, 4 positions after a win. You know, so we're not out the title race if we were ever in it, but. Should this be a priority for Jose to win?
I suppose it's a good question. I suppose it is. The answer would be yes. It's when you look at the teams that are left in there, we've got to be fancying our chances. Even if we're not playing, we haven't played well. Maybe in the last. Well, I'd say the last against Leicester, we didn't play well. Crystal Palace, that game was a little bit. We should have got something of that.
Definitely 2 halves game, that was.
Yeah, and the Liverpool game, second half, I thought we played well. But saying that, I mean, as I say, going into this cup and with those teams that are left in it, we still got to be fancying our chances for this. So I do think this probably is one of our priorities. Because then I think if we get into the final of this cup, it kind of sets the tone for what we should hopefully do, maybe in the Europa, maybe the FA Cup. The league, like you say, I think is probably. I think it's, if we're being realistic, it's probably out of our hands, just because of Liverpool. When they build up a bit of momentum, they're gonna be hard to stop. But
sure,
it's one of them, isn't it? You don't really know what's around the corner. I mean, Liverpool certainly. It's certainly possible that they could drop points this season. We've already seen it, so. Yeah,
with the league, I think it will all be not all depend on, but it certainly will have a great bearing over the Christmas with the games that's got to be played. And as I said, because there's such a concertina effect at the top, there is going to be so many changes when teams play. So I'm not saying we're not going to be challenging. We'll still be challenging, but realistically, is that our number one priority? Is that what Jose is setting out to win? I don't think so, given the fact that you've got City, Liverpool, Chelsea, all very much stronger squads than us. Top 4 is a priority for us, I think, for this season. But a trophy like this, I've seen Jose in the past. He always targets this. He targeted this with Man United. He's targeted this with Chelsea. He does make sure that this is a trophy that he wants to win beginning of the season, get it out of the way in February, and then that builds on the momentum, the feel-good factor as such that we don't have.
Definitely, and that feel-good factor for the remaining season, I think will be quite important, because if we've got that confidence of a trophy, albeit it's the Carabao Cup, when you come into this sort of the FA Cup or Europa and you start getting to the latter stages and stuff, that confidence, I think, will be potentially the difference between maybe being more successful than not. So. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
think this is probably one of the priorities now, this cup.
this ties into your point you made earlier about the changes. So you were saying that you don't expect many changes. So this is one of the reasons why I'm a little bit, I'd like to see changes for the fact that I want to see other players play. I want to see them get a chance. I want to see the likes of Vinicius. Is he at the level that was required? We haven't seen enough of him. I think I've seen enough to know that he's got something about him, but consistently, if he hasn't played 2-3 games in a row, you can't tell if somebody's consistent or not. They can always have one good game. So the team lineup is going to be very interesting. So we're going to wrap up. Final score predictions. What's your thoughts?
See, the last few games that I've been predicting the scores, I've been a bit of a jinx to us, I feel.
We got to do it. We got to do it.
I'm going to go 3-0 Spurs, because I think they've got to come out of the blocks. They've got to mean business tomorrow night. So I'm going 3-0 Spurs.
Oof. Whoa, I wish I could share that same sort of level of enthusiasm and hope, because I think it's going to be tight. I really do. I really believe that they aren't going to let us too much in this game. I don't think there's going to be a lot of spaces. I think it's going to be a game where, first half we might be all frustrated. We're going to be saying, what's going on here? I hope I'm wrong, but I can see how this team could set up against us and make it a very frustrating night. But we should come out victorious. I don't want it to go to penalties, because if it goes to penalties, it's anybody's game. Yeah. And I would expect Stoke would love to get to penalties. If you said to them now, do you want to take penalties? They'd take that right now. No extra time. So they only have to hold out for 90 minutes. It's not like there's another half an hour to play after the full-time whistle if it was a draw. So I'm going to go 1-0. No, I'm going to stick with the 1-0. I think it's going to be very tight.
Oh, man, you're making me nervous.
I'm nervous. I think I'm nervous because of the fact that it's something and a game that we should definitely be winning. And if we'd have played them last week at the highs that we were, I would have said, yeah, no problem. But when you've had the results that we've had in a week, something needs to change within the team, the setup, how, they maybe approach this game, because we've said the approach hasn't been always the right one, particularly against Leicester. So this is where we're going to see what Jose is all about. Is he going to make them changes? Is he going to get them playing on the front foot? And is he going to get a 3-0 scoreline, like you said? As I said, Mike's going.
I'm going out there. I'm going out there.
He's put that on record. I'm not putting that on record. I'm saying 1-0. But yeah, I think we're both saying Spurs to win, obviously. And it could be a very interesting game. But tonight's games will be interesting as well to see what happens in there. Arsenal City, that'll be a good game to watch. And we all know what result we would like to in that one. So City to win. I don't mind who we play. If we got to the semi-final, I don't mind who we play. So in order to finish up, I'm going to ask everybody out there, could you like, subscribe, share, comment? Very important that you hit that like button, and we can then build up FTB Sports. Mike, thanks again for that. We'll have the post-match reaction show tomorrow, and we'll also have some further games to preview in the coming few days and weeks. FTB Sports, like, subscribe, share, comment, and we'll see you again soon. See you later, mate.
Cheers. See ya.